Welcome to the Curry Gumbo podcast review of Black Girl in Paris. Well, not really, but that is a good book, and there is a short with the same name that has nothing to do with the book. But anyway, we are talking about Atlanta, Season 3, Episode 10, the finale with Vanessa and Paris. Stay tuned. We start with Black girls. Yay! We've been looking for some Black girls, and we found them. But they're Black American girls, and I was hoping for a Black, I don't know if Black European is the correct term.
Well,
Black
they're in
girls
Paris, so...
No, but I wanted like local Black girls that are French. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not American.
That's what, like Black Parisian girls.
Yes, or Black girls from the Netherlands, Black girls from wherever, because they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? So we have Candace, Van's friend. She was in the Drake episode. She got flued out to Paris.
Come on, flued out.
To pee on a dude. And she brought her two friends with her.
She got cut a cute little check.
So we see Van. Van is wearing the wig she stole. And...
I am sure she stole that coat, that bag, that baguette.
Van is in this French shop. Her girl from Atlanta who got flued out, she sees her. Van got this whole French accent, and she is in character.
Yes, deep method acting.
In character, not even talking to her friend. And she's on some adventure, takes her friend on an adventure. But first, I kind of act like she don't even know her.
At first, I was thinking, do we have a doppelganger situation? Is this Van? But she answers to Van. So I was really confused.
Yeah, Van was acting like she didn't know who Candace was. But Candace was sure. She was like, no, that is Vanessa from Atlanta.
This Candace is showing you why you need a good Black girlfriend.
Yes. Van is carrying around this baguette everywhere she goes. So the first stop, they go to, I guess, what appears to be her apartment.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, and then we find out that she's a model. There's this magazine on her table, and it has a whole spread on her. It has her name, Vanessa, and just pictures of her. Like, it's like some type of a Vogue magazine looking type of thing. How long has this girl been in Paris?
How long has she been in Paris? What life has she created for herself? Who do the Paris people understand her to be? Because she has completely sold them this identity.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get that wig because
the wig changed lives.
Yes.
Next stop is another apartment. Now, I'm not familiar with Alexander Skarsgård. Are you?
Yeah.
If that's it's just me.
Well, he's like an HBO darling who's in True Blood, Big Little Lies.
Oh, see, I ain't never seen them shows.
Yeah, he's a big deal. And he's a part of a like famous family. His brother is he's the new It, and his father is a famous actor. They're
the scary movie It.
The clown.
See, I'm not watching that.
I understand.
I mean, I'm looking at the episode and I just see a handsome white man.
You've seen this man.
I mean, I saw him in the episode and it didn't click until her friends was like, oh, when you start.
He was in Passing. Played the husband in Passing.
Okay.
That's it. If it ain't got none black body, Nicole don't know.
I don't know you. Sorry. I don't know this man. So they have a lot of cameos in this season.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of white male cameos.
Lots of white. And I was wondering, I said, was Alex involved in something problematic? Because the white men that they've had on the show they've
all been problematic men.
Yeah. So I'm like, what's going on? What did I not hear about? But child,
I don't know. He talks about getting naked.
He wants to get naked with them. He's listening to Ashanti. He's got on leopard print underwear. It seems like he comes to this place in order to release some type of wild side. Like if you've got on animal print underwear, I don't know if you see these Black women immediately think that they're going to be up to just release all type of inhibitions with you. they're down for it. They really kind of disappointed me, but also surprised me.
Let's back up. So when the girls, Candace and her friends, Zosha and Shanice, when they were talking, they were saying how they really wanted to explore Paris like a local. I think from their point of view, they're not trying to go to the touristy spots. They want to go on an adventure. They in Paris.
Yeah.
They having fun. They're just like, listen, this is an experience. We gonna get in some crazy mess, and we just gonna have a good time and go back home. So that's how I read them as. Van plants drugs on the bedroom, in the bed, on the dresser. They leave the hotel room. She goes down and like panics at the concierge, saying she needs help and police, obviously to get this man in trouble. Candace is looking like WTF. Shanice and Zosha are like, hey, we just here for the ride. Her, this Vespa, and this baguette in her backpack. It was just hilarious to me.
Was this your favorite episode?
Yeah, I'll say this one and the drug episode was my two favorites.
Yeah. It felt like the other shows its own independent short film. It gave me like Wes Anderson vibe. It was
kind of scary.
It was scary, but it was also like really funny. She's at this next location and she's about to go pick up a package, but she realizes that the package isn't there. And all of these people start just coming out of random areas and they look like they're about to surround Van.
Oh yeah, it got kind of scary.
And these ladies, and I'm like, one guy is carrying like a crowbar, like one guy is missing an eye.
They slashed the tire in her Vespa.
They slashed the tire, like they have plans on hurting her. Even before we even get back to the Vespa, someone has thrown glass down there at them. They are in danger. And Candace knows it, Van knows it, the other two ladies know it. But still, when she is confronted by these men, she takes out a cigarette. She's looking real cool. I mean, this could be its own film series to me. Like just the foolishness that this character gets into.
Vanessa in Paris.
Yeah, and they're calling her Terreur, which I looked that up and I saw that was a historical figure of someone who was just insatiable, which is so fitting. The only reason why they get out of this little scuffle is because there's a violent altercation taking place behind them, and the men who are surrounding them go to check that out, and then Van runs. So from there, I'm like, okay, Van has completely reshaped her identity. Van is just like going wherever the wind is taking her. Van didn't feel scared to me when she was confronted by those men. I think she knew that like violence, like me being hurt physically is a real possibility here. But,
she seems very out of body. And we get to that because later in the episode when she breaks down, you can tell that wasn't her. She referenced Amelie, which I never saw that movie.
Me neither.
I looked it up and it's the same wig. Amelie came out in 2001. It's a rom-com. It's a fanciful comedy about a young woman who discreetly orchestrates the lives of people around her, creating a world exclusively of her own making. And it was shot in Paris.
I mean, is Amelie stealing hands? Is Amelie like out here busting people over the head?
I don't know.
I just doubt it.
No, but
I understand.
I get the point of creating your own world. Like she just created her own personality. All those situations she was in, she did not need to be in.
No, they were
none of them
completely avoidable.
She put herself in madness. We find out what the baguette was for.
Child.
She beat a dude up with the baguette, beat him bloody to the face.
Yeah. So she's searching for this package and she realizes that there's a young man who has it. So she goes to this, it looks like a museum. She's trying to retrieve this package. And they have like this old-fashioned Western standoff, but
yes,
old boy ain't got no weapon. She kind of tells us that this baguette is super stale, and when it's stale, it gets really hard.
It was like 2 weeks old. Now I had a baguette. Now it do get hard after like
it does,
and you have to throw it away. And she was like, what, 2-3 weeks? I was like, damn, let me keep a stale baguette in my house just in case.
You don't have to get a baguette that's that long. So seeing it stick out of her bag felt like
it was hilarious.
Yet now when I'm replaying it and they keep saying like she ain't put this baguette down, because we go to her apartment and then we leave her apartment, she got the baguette and I'm like, why you got the baguette? But now it's like that's her gun. That's her weapon of choice and she's not going to part with it. What does bread represent? And for her to use that as her violence, because when I think bread, I think like money. I also think Jesus.
Okay. At this point, everyone's thinking the package is drugs. We keep going to different locations. And I guess let's going back to the Amelie description. It says it was shot in like 80 different Parisian locations. And so without seeing the movie, I guess I'm guessing that why we're moving from location to location to location all over Paris. Mm-hmm. Because we haven't really done that in the previous episodes. We've always been in like one location. Even with the drug episode with Paperboy, he's walking through Amsterdam,
a certain part of
and we're not going on Vespas and going on the metro and
getting to a specific destination is not the point of that episode. It's like getting to know Lorraine is the point of that episode. But this episode, it is like, where are we going? Exactly. What's happening here? We never get a chance to just sit with Van. She's always go, 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 go. We're here, we're there, we're here, we're there. We never get a chance to like isolate her in one space. I mean, these are beautiful sets. We don't even get a chance to enjoy it. She does her damage and then she leaves.
Yes. Next location, is this the restaurant?
It's a private party.
Yes. They invite them to the party. Candace is like, no, we're good. Zosha and Charisse, they're like, hey, we here. Might as well.
After they have seen her bludgeon a person. So this isn't completely realistic to me. Everybody is kind of living on the edge right now. Like even they really want to get there and let their hair down.
Well, what would you do? So you're on like this kind of girls trip. Your friend notices their friend, from Atlanta. I can see there's like a safety there.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go off by themselves. Like, where are they gonna go? You're already deep in Paris.
I think they know I think they can find a way to get back to their hotel. I think we're in the days of Uber.
You get an Uber.
Candace has already told y'all that they know that she knows Van from Atlanta. So if I'm seeing a woman constantly being like, hello,
with a French accent.
Oh, mademoiselle, sit here. I'm thinking, and they even say like they use the term, they admit that, okay, she's mentally unstable, like something isn't right. Because you're not putting down this baguette. You're speaking with this French accent when you are from Atlanta. And we're all over the place. You just hurt a man. You just hurt somebody like it was nothing. And so they already know that they are not with someone who is completely stable. I think they just don't care because they are not the object. They are not the center, or they're not the focus of her violence. So maybe they feel safe in that way. And maybe they just want to see more damage. I do think some of this is interesting to see a Black woman be outwardly violent like this with these white folk. Now, she did bludgeon a Black man.
Yeah.
Which is like, but look at what she's doing to Alex, this celebrity. Spits in this man's face, literally. Like there's something about that is, you feel like you're in a fantasy because like, where is a Black woman going to get away with stuff like that? Not to say that Black women want to do that, but if we're thinking about what the world has done to Black women, it's like, hey, there's payback here. Maybe, I don't know. But it is like, oh my gosh, like she has the nerve to do this. I want to follow her around. I want to see what's going on here.
Well, we get the sense that Candace knows something's wrong with her and she's really trying to help her friend. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, I don't think Zosha and Shanice are going to leave Candace.
I think they would leave
Do
Candace,
you think they
especially
would?
Shanice, because Shanice is not their friend. Shanice is Zosha's cousin. So I don't think
Okay.
Shanice is going to leave Zosha. I don't think Zosha is going to leave Shanice. And they, I think they did leave her when they sit down to have this meal. They don't follow
Well,
Candace.
okay, true. But they're in the same building.
That's true.
So they're in this fancy dinner party. Zosha and Shanice are at the table. Van goes down in the kitchen. Now she's like, I don't know, a waiter, half cook, half waiter.
Yeah.
Candace follows her to the kitchen. We find out the package is hands. The cook, he's preparing fried hands. Well, is that cornbread on the side?
It looked like a little sliver of cornbread. That's what it looked like to me.
Me too. It looked like fried hands with cornbread.
So it's having fried chicken and cornbread, except hands. So
at this dinner experience, the people at the table, they were told to cover their face with the napkin, and they're supposed to eat without seeing what they're eating. I'm not doing.
Child.
But they're up for an adventure. Zosha and Shanice are like, we in Paris. We're going to be Parisian for the day. Van breaks down when Candace mentions Lottie, her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a violent breakdown.
When they're in Van's apartment, Candace says, can we talk in the kitchen? Because I think she wants to show Van some grace. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to have this. I don't want you to have to admit to lying in front of these two women that you don't know.
Right.
But girl, I got to get to the bottom of this because I see your phone blowing up with calls. I know you have a daughter.
You have a French accent. So, where does come
girl,
from?
What is going on? So let's go into the kitchen. So it's interesting that this breakdown
they're in
happens
the kitchen again.
In the kitchen. It's also interesting that it happens in someone's home because like it's still like a very intimate setting. Doing that in a domestic space feels appropriate because it's a little bit more intimate to Van. Like it is two women speaking in a kitchen in a home. It offers a space to kind of let your hair down, to kind of let the breakdown happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a difference between this happening in someone's home as opposed to it happening on a bridge, as opposed to it happening on a street. You know what I'm saying? So like this happening in somebody's home feels right to me. Just the mention of Lottie, I knew that was going to be like the breaking point, because up until that point, Lottie hadn't been mentioned. And I'm wondering why that is. And I'm thinking, if I am in Candace's shoes and I haven't seen Van in a very long time, if I see Van every single day, I'm going to be like, where's Lottie? Is Lottie here with you? Oh, is Lottie with Ern? But if I haven't seen Van in a very long time, I'm thinking, does she have custody? Does she, like, let me not bring that,
First of all, you're in Paris and you're not on vacation. You're acting like
you have a life
here. Yeah, you've been here. You got the accent and everything. So I'm like, what happened to your kid? Like, everything good? You okay?
Yeah.
Is everything
okay? But that might
not
be something that I bring up immediately because I'm assuming like that's a tough topic. I just feel like Lottie is Candace's like big joker. Like, I'm gonna win with this. You gonna cut it out. You're about to cut it out right now.
I've been following you all over Paris.
I've been letting you collect these books.
With this baguette and this wig and this accent. Girl.
But Lottie is my big joker now. And I'm gonna be like, hey, I got to humble you real quick so we could go ahead and get to the bottom of this, because what are you doing? It's interesting. Did you see in the beginning of the episode where they had that shot of the meat? Atlanta is spelled out in the meat labels.
No, I didn't get it.
I saw that and I was thinking, like, because you watch the show over and over again, and I was thinking like that makes so much sense, it being in like raw flesh, because we have a woman who's like bludgeoning people and walking around with hands in her bag. I think she picked up a hand when she was at that butcher shop.
Probably.
She was picking up a hand.
Probably.
Yeah, and that's that's when she picked up that hand that was in that vase in that museum. Like, she's going around collecting hands.
Collecting hands.
So it makes sense that the title cards are about to show you something that is like kind of unfiltered, something that is kind of undone, uncooked, raw, bloody.
So we find out Van finally breaks down, takes off the wig, and has a heart-to-heart with Candace, and says that we get more truth about how she ended up in Europe, period. She took her daughter to school. She said she was driving, closed her eyes, and then got scared and opened them again. And when she picked her daughter up, she said she felt like her daughter knew her mother did something that was wrong. She said she felt like a bad mother, dropped her off at her parents' house, and then just booked a trip to Europe.
I'm not here to diagnose Van, but you're saying things like, I don't even remember the flight.
Yes.
Like, I'm wondering, like, are we losing time here? Like, what is happening, Van? Like, what is going on? Like, we need to get Van to a doctor, and quickly, because for things like that to be happening, and then you come here and you're not at peace, because when you get to Amsterdam, you see someone be murdered. True. As if you saw someone be murdered as if it was justified, as if it was the right thing to do, as if it was a natural act, and it's not. And I think that has been having a lingering effect on Van. I don't think Van has come back from that. I think she was already in a space where her mental state was incredibly vulnerable, and then having something like that happen.
The only thing I wish for this episode, I wish that conversation was between her and Ern, because it seems like when it comes to Lottie, it's like Van is her only parent. Ern never talks about the struggles of being a father and being on the road, being away, whatever feelings he has. It don't even exist. It's like you don't even know, you forget Ern's the daddy until he upset and be like, oh, so I'm trying to talk to you're my daughter's mother. But other than that, Ern never mentions his child. And so I kind of felt like it was unfair for, like, I wish the conversation was between both the parents, and they can both discuss how they felt about being parents and solutions they can have to help each other out. But that did not happen. But I do like the Black girlfriend camaraderie, like you said. Like, this episode shows the importance of having a girlfriend.
If we haven't seen Ern be as present in Lottie's life, I think if he is not as present in Lottie's life, then he's more than likely not as present in Van's life.
Well, that has to do with Van. So, but still, when the episodes of him by himself outside of Van, why is this child only connected when we talk about Van?
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to make a point about why it feels right to me for Van to be having this conversation with the Candace as opposed to an Ern. Yeah. I'm with you. I do wish that this would have been shared with Ern, because it does seem like at certain points, like, Ern wants to know what's going on. But I think there's just certain things that I'm going to tell my girlfriends before I tell my romantic partner.
No, I get that part.
Yeah. No, and I know you get that. I'm just saying, like, for me, it feels right. It feels good. But it would have been nice to see her share that with Ern, if only for him to kind of take some responsibility.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Van's mental state is Ern's fault. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think that it's got to be hard raising a child by yourself.
Yes.
And with you, like, it's never like, oh, I'm gonna bring Lottie out. When we in London, I'm gonna bring Lottie here for the week. It always seems like Lottie is
connected to Van only,
and a hurdle that he has to jump through. Like, oh man, I got to pick up my kid, so I can't really be present in this other space that I need to be. even though he's doing things for his kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Yes, financially, but I wish men could have more conversations on how do you feel as a father? Like how Van was talking to Candace about how she felt as a mother. Where those conversations were Ern and his boys about how does he truly feel as a father?
Yeah.
What are his struggles just mentally, How does he feel? Does he feel like he's a great dad? Does he feel like he can do more? Like nothing. Did you see the post-credit scene?
I did.
Who's the white guy?
That's the guy who's been showing up in all the episodes.
The dead one.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Oh, and so in the post-credit scene, Ern gets a bag that he says it's not his, but it's a picture of this dead white ghost.
I believe
with
that
some
that's
merchandise.
Him. Yeah, it had a very
it was spooky.
What's the name of that movie where Here's Johnny?
I have no idea.
The Shining.
The Shining. I don't be watching these scary movies.
When you zoom into a picture, you see that the main character in The Shining was there like years ago to the point where it's like you shouldn't have been alive at that point. So it's like he's a ghost returning to the hotel. Why does this white man have Ern's same name? I'm assuming we will learn more about this man.
Yes, because his name was Ern in them episodes. Yeah. Okay.
So I think there's gonna be something dealing with Ern and ghosts and ghouls, because like this white man is connected to him. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the show. Hit us up on Instagram at Curry Gumbo. Hope to see you next week. Bye.